Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, of course, would like to thank the organizers of today's event for giving me the opportunity to share with you about the possibility of our corridor. Actually, Murat already mentioned a couple of very interesting historical and very recent things about that part of the world. I just would like to add another very important piece of information. Maybe many of you know about it, that actually the first pipeline was also constructed in our region, which was Baku-Batumi by Nobel brothers. And since then, the infrastructure development has always been the priority of the governments of these countries. But before I go to the main logistics and infrastructure capacities that we have, let me give you a few words about the Georgian railway, because our company is not a typical railway company. We are the sole operator of the railway system in Georgia. But for us, the main business is logistics. So in our portfolio, apart from the railway system, we have all the rolling stock, we have terminals, ports. So we are providing the complex systems to our customers. Georgian Railway is a very important company for the Georgian economy, because we are the largest taxpayer and the largest employer in our country. So, in the last 10 years, as Murat has mentioned, very big infrastructure projects have been implemented in the region, which actually changed also the nature of the railway logistics as well. First of all, Baku-Tbilisi Ceyhan being constructed. This is 65 million capacity oil pipeline, and now it works under around 40 million. And there was a very significant changes on a natural gas as well. This is the gas pipeline Baku-Tbilisi Erzurum, which is operated by BP. Before these two big projects came into reality, of course, we as the railway, for us, the main cargo used to be crude oil. However, after the implementation of these projects, majority of the crude oil was transferred to the pipelines, and we are now more working on oil products and chemical products. So Georgian Railway is regarded as the most profitable railway, not only CIS but in Europe as well. And of course, the main answer to that question is what actually our moderator has said, that the majority of post-Soviet countries are landlocked. Currently, we are the gateway for the following landlocked countries: so Azerbaijan, Armenia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Afghanistan. And also on this slide, I highlighted Iran, because Iran historically and from infrastructure perspective has always been a part of our corridor. But however, due to the conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia, the railway link was closed. However, 3 weeks ago, I would say that the historical agreement was achieved in Tehran, and the missing railway link from Azerbaijan to Iran will be constructed. 70% of the population in Iran lives in the northern part of Iran. So this means that for the companies who are operating in that part of Islamic Republic of Iran, it has more sense to do the logistics via Georgia rather than Suez Canal and generally the Persian Gulf. Okay, so on this slide, so you can see two major projects which we have now in Georgia related to railway. The first is Baku-Tbilisi Kars. This is a railway to connect our systems to Turkish railway. So the project is fully finished from the Georgian side, and our Turkish colleagues will finish the construction on their side by the end of this year. So we believe that in the first quarter of 2017, the first railway shipment gonna start on this new railway. And another one is the so-called modernization project. Georgia is a mountainous country, and currently we have a bottleneck between East Georgia and West Georgia. And we are modernizing our infrastructure there in order to meet the future demands. And another big demand will be the deep sea port in Anaklia, which is a joint project between Chinese and American and Georgian companies, because we do believe that in the next 5 or 6 years we may experience undercapacity on the Black Sea unless we construct a new deep sea port apart from Batumi, Kulevi, and Poti. So these are the capacities of our ports and terminals. I have not included the Supsa terminal, which is actually another very interesting terminal. This is also the pipeline from Baku to Supsa with a capacity of 7 million tons of oil, which is also under operation by BP. Okay, so as I have mentioned, we are now trying to focus more on oil and oil products, on chemicals generally. This is, of course, a very big advantage of Georgian ports and terminals, because we can work all year long, 12 months, and which gives very, very big advantage to our corridor. As it has already been mentioned now, all these corridors which are now crossing the Eurasian continent, they are trying to compete with the traditional maritime route from Asia to Europe via Suez Canal. And actually, in the last 6 years, the countries which are located along the so-called modern Silk Road, which is Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Georgia, invested more than 7 billion USD in order to upgrade their railway capacities and port capacities to be competitive. And actually, we are already making a big progress in this from this perspective. We are outperforming our competitors from the maritime transport by three times on average. And another very important route which has been signed recently, around 2 months ago, is a new route from Mumbai to Port of Constanța in Romania via Bandar Abbas. This is very interesting and important route. This is 4 times more efficient from time perspective than the traditional maritime route. And many big companies are already getting interested in this, and we do believe that this corridor, like the Silk Road corridor, has a bright future. Let me also give you some interesting information on the demand side, because my colleagues, they gave you interesting information on the supply side, but of course the demand side is also very interesting. And of course, first of all, we should mention Turkey, which is one of the largest importers of oil and oil products in the world, and Georgia will be actually the only country who's going to have this railway link to Turkey, sustainable railway link. So we do believe that according that, from poor geographical perspective, we would be able to attract additional from 7 to 8 million tons of oil cargo from the Caspian Sea region and from Russia to Turkey once the BTK is going to be fully operated. And another very big country who has actually big demands on oil and oil products is Ukraine. And due to this unfortunate geopolitical events, what has been happening in the last 3 years, now Ukraine has to receive majority of its oil and oil product import from Georgia as well, and we do believe that this also gonna increase the potential of the South Caucasian transport corridor. Generally, the South Caucasian railway corridor, of course, has its advantages and disadvantages. The main advantage is that this is the shortest route, but it has disadvantages, of course, because it is multimodal. And in order to overcome this disadvantage, in 2013, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, and Georgia formed a so-called tariff committee. And according to that tariff committee, we are imposing a so-called throughput tariff on main products, especially in oil and oil products. And we are working with one window principle with our customers, actually, which really raised the competitiveness of our Trasika corridor. Another a very big project I would like also to highlight is, I don't know whether this is a laser pointer or not, the new railway ferry project from port of Alyad in Azerbaijan to Amirabad. Amirabad is a port in Iran, in the Caspian Sea, which we believe will significantly increase the interest from Iranian side to start exporting their fuel oil from Iran to the international markets, because, as you know, majority of refinery capacities in Iran are not upgraded, so they have a lot of fuel oil which should be transported to the international market, and we do believe that this project will create a very good opportunity for the international traders to have a better exposure on Iranian oil product exports. Thank you.